I'm John Conchalvi, founder of AEM. Today we've installed one of our EMSs on this TSX that's going to be competing in the Pacific Tuner Car Championship in about a week. The car is built and driven by John Donner, and what we're doing today is trying to enhance the torque output of this vehicle by the use of our computer. The EMS allows us to make changes to the variable cam timing, and Mitch Peterson, who is the owner of MP Tuning and one of our former engineers, is doing all the work on the keyboards today. The reason we're concentrating on torque is because the power is limited by the rules of the series. So as an alternative to get the car to come out of turns a lot harder, our goal is going to be to give him a lot more torque so he can exit corners very rapidly. So we'll see what happens here in just a few minutes.
They're going to like you better than me?
Okay, well, we're just going to recap what we ended up with. We ended up with about 195 horsepower on this dyno at about 7,400 RPM. Peak torque numbers are 155 foot-pounds of torque. And we actually have two distinct torque peaks, one at about 6,000 RPM and one about 4,400. So we all have to run this again. Like anything, dynos read differently. So to know that the changes that we made are actually beneficial, we'll have to rerun it on one of the other dynos that this car has run on before. So, fortunately, we weren't able to run this car on this dyno before the modifications were made, so we don't know what our baseline and our percentage increase is, since dynos all read a little bit different.
My name is Mike Welch from Road Race Engineering. We're here today helping out APD and AEM. We're normally specialized in the Mitsubishi Eclipse and the Evolution, but today we're going to be doing some dyno testing on this Acura. This car was tuned at AEM by Mitch on a Mustang dyno. Every dyno reads a little bit different, and we have a lot of good before data on this car, so we'll be able to do a better before and after comparison with the modifications that APD just did to it. We had this car on the dyno back in June at the racetrack, and he came up with 161 foot-pounds of torque at 6,000 RPM, and he was 201 horsepower right at 7,000 RPM. And now with the cams installed and some tuning by Mitch at AEM with the AEM EMS, they played around with some of the VTEC timing, I guess, and we've seen it's a 23 foot-pound gain in torque. So the peak torque now is 185 foot-pounds, but it's gained torque pretty much everywhere across the board. And then again, more horsepower everywhere. For a peak horsepower is 240 horsepower at 7,500 RPM. So the total gain of horsepower is 39 horsepower, and it's pretty good. It's hard to get this kind of horsepower out of a normally aspirated car. Honda Acura, they know what they're doing. They send these cars out tuned pretty well. So with this kind of gain, that's pretty good work.